If you're new here, my name is Linden Houston and thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a lovely curry. I'm going to make like a fish curry, or you can call it a seafood curry. I'm going to use a bit of prawn and a sea bass and some vegetable to combine with it. Also, I'll be showing you how to make a roti to go with it. So I'm going to make a complete dish. So once you comes in, ladies and gentlemen, please do consider to like, share, do subscribe, do leave positive comment. So once you come in, please do, if you're streaming from a mobile device, please do double tap on your screen to thumbs up the live. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I will start off with the roti. So I'm just gonna stick the kettle on. So I'm gonna get, is a good rule of thumb, so just to start off with the roti. Just adding some salt to this. I'm gonna add a bit of oil. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. So in this I'm just using a bit of olive oil in this. All this is personal preference. And I'm using fairly warm water in this. Today I'll be making some like a seafood curry. I'm going to use sea bass with a bit of prawn, some vegetables. I'm not going to make a roti to go with it. Normally I would cook the seafood first, but this time I said let me do the roti first. I'm just using a fork in this, and the reason why I'm using the fork is that I'm using hot water in this, so it stop my hands from getting burned. So a rule of thumbs, I'm going to work this until the bowl a little bit clean, and then I'm going to put it out on the table. So it's not that bad now, so I'll be able to use my hands. I'm just going to get myself a little bit of flour here, and that's to help the process. So once it comes in, ladies and gentlemen, please do, thumbs up the live and feel free to subscribe. And if you do, I appreciate that. All right. So this is what I'm going to work on now. So I need to just set this because I want you to see how this dish come to life. This beautiful dish I'm going to create. Okay, so I'm working on the roti. I'm going to make the roti first. And just get it out the way. So this depends on how the size you want yours. It's up to you if you want a massive one. So we see how it goes. I stick to beat about 4. So I'm going to divide this up. If I get 4 out of this, that's brilliant. You're going to need a little bit of space. We're going to roll this out. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of flour down. And I'm just going to use a small rolling pin because it's easier to work with this small rolling pin. So the thing when you're making roti, try to roll it out as thin as possible. If you have a bigger rolling pin, it's up to you. But the difference, I'll show you the difference. Like if you have a bigger rolling pin, you might be able to do it also. But with the small one, I realize you can, maneuver it a little bit different. But I like use a small one anyway. So try to flatten this out, as much as possible. It's very important. The thinner you get this, the better it is. All right. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, you see now I just made this. I'm going to talk you through. When you're making it, just take your time. Put like some flour in the bowl, like what I do, and a bit of salt over it. And then add some butter over the flour, or olive oil. Get a fork and mix it up like you're combining it together. And after you do that, just gently pour some warm water, hot enough, probably about 63 degrees, 63 to 65 degrees hot water in it. And use a fork because the water probably a little bit too warm for your touch. What that do, the hot water is cooking out the gluten a little bit. And if you notice, I'm stretching this, but it's not ripping. So that's a good sign. You understand? So, and then you gently roll it out. When you're rolling it out, make sure you have flour on this, or you need it. This, you can pick this up on Amazon. I bought this in Maidstone in a store. So when I see things which I can use, and I'm going to put it on this. But but I'm gonna increase the gas a little bit. Now, to set yourself up when you're making the roti, you know, to make sure you go right, have a little bit of butter, good quality butter, or some good olive oil, whichever you want to use, because you're gonna need it in this. What I'm looking for in this, normally when it's roti, when you make your roti properly, there should be some bubbles coming up. So now, if I don't see any bubbles coming up, you're probably gonna have to bear with me and give me more time to remake it. But I guarantee there's gonna be bubbles. And you get yourself a rolling pin, one of this or one of this. And you just gently take your time, keep turning him like this. And then get yourself whatever you have in your house, something like this, whatever you have, just to turn it. If you notice, there's some bubbles coming up on this. I'm just going to flip it a little bit because sometimes when you leave it to stand, it can burn. So you need a little bit of heat on it and just watch it. As I said, if you notice here, let me move this pan. It starts to rise up and there's no baking powder in it. There's no yeast in it. So that's a sign of a good roti. So if this video of any value to you, ladies and gentlemen, please do like, share, subscribe, thumbs up the live. So you see me make this straight in front of you guys. I'm not, hiding anything. So you all have to help each other, you know what I mean? So that's how I do them. And sometimes I just use my hands just to stretch it like this. So I just need a little bit of color on it. So that's why I just turned the gas up a little bit. I was just going to gently cook them through. So what I'm doing here, I'm just stretching this. That's what I'm doing, stretching it a little bit. So this now, I'm just going to put this over here and then jump on another one. So remember to keep an eye on it. And I'm going to show you what I do when it come off this. Because as I said, you need a little. Hi, Jackie. Jackie Herbert, welcome, Jackie. It's good when you have some positive people come on, Thank you very much for coming on. So that's how I do it. So now, within a minute or two, I'm going to remove this one and I'm going to show you what I do with it. The thing is, you don't want to overcook it either. So now I'm going to remove it. Yeah. When I remove it, I put it right here. I'm going to turn this down a bit. And it's two things, as I said, you can do. I have here some butter, and the butter I'm using is anchor butter. If you don't like anchor butter, just use whatever you have. You understand? So I'm going to show you two different ways how you can do this. Start, around the edge, or make sure, if you do the middle, make sure it goes all over. What this do is help to keep your roti soft. If you don't like butter, okay, I'll show you what I do. I have some extra virgin olive oil. I love olive oil. I cook with a lot of olive oil. With the same brush, this is not going to harm you, trust me. Olive oil good for you. Just brush it over it. And this will keep your roti soft and moist. So don't worry about the little oil over it. It will work itself out. Okay, and then you have another one here. Just gently give him a little bit of stretch. just gently. You know, a lot of people see me make this and they said, when I used to work as a chef and I make things like this, they're saying, how comes it's not ripping? I'm a big guy, but I'm very gentle. So we'll put down the other one. So that's how we're doing it. So once it comes in, ladies and gentlemen, you know, double tap on your screen and feel free, you know, to subscribe if this have any value to you guys. So as I said, what I'm gonna eat with this is some like a fish stew, like a curry fish stew. I'm gonna eat with it, but I just want to make the roti before. You notice I'm stretching this. I wonder it's not ripping because I make it properly, good texture. So we're just gonna rest them over there. We have the last one here, bit of flour over it, very important. And then we're gonna work on our curry. You can call it curry seafood. You know, I'm using sea bass, boneless sea bass fillet, and some prawns and some vegetable. So that is the easy part. So I just do this, but this one take a little bit time, and the technique is different also. So that's how you make your roti. When you're making it, just take your time. Don't rush it. If you want good food, don't rush it. Just take your time. At times when I'm cooking, if I'm gonna rush when I'm cooking, you know what I do? I don't start. Just don't bother with it. Doesn't make any sense. You're just gonna make yourself make a mess. All right. So this one now, I'm just gonna flip him over. I'm gonna turn the heat up a bit and make sure to watch it. Make sure to watch it. So I'm just stretching him a little bit. So I'll finish with this flour. So as I said, with this, you don't want to overcook it. So just remove him. As I said, the thinner it is the better it is. So we're gonna drop him down. And remember, you know, put some butter around the edge or olive oil. Whatever you have in your house, just utilize this. That's what I do. Just utilize things. So once it's finished, guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna work on my sauce for the fish, because that's easier to cook. This take a little bit more time. You see all this puffing up? That's what you know you have a good roti recipe, or you make the roti good. So if you make it and you're not seeing it rising up, if you look, it just coming up, no baking powder, no yeast, nothing, no raisin agent in it. So you see that? We're gonna give him another bit of turn. Not gonna keep him too long on it. See that? You see how this raising up? That's all you want it. And then just grease him up a little bit, you know, put some butter or olive oil over it. Very important. You do this, you're gonna thank me later. So now you don't have to worry to buy you know, any roti. As you see, I make it straight in front of your eyes. So this is a bit hot. I'm going to turn it down. So if this get too hot, turn it down. But when you put this on it, just be careful. Just take your time. Watch it. Pay close attention to it because you don't want them burn. You don't want them burn at all. All right? Watch him. Just keep eye on him because, you know, this thing is hot. So that's my last roti. So now, I'm going to prep some stuff for my also this thing like heat, but not too much. See this? Just watch this. Watch this. You see that? That's a roti. See that? So that's what you want. Don't overcook them. You overcook them, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm just checking this side. See that? I don't want that cook anymore. So with this now, I'm just going to turn this down a bit. And the reason why I'm turning this down a bit, I'm just going to put this pot over and then I'm going to slide this over here. Because I'm going to work on my curry to go with my roti. So at least these roti are going to be nice and buttery. Just make sure you put some butter over him. Make sure him nice. See that? I'm not telling you to use this butter what I use, but put a bit of butter on it, or olive oil, or coconut oil, whatever you love. Me, I love anchor butter. And I grew up eating anchor butter even on bread, just bread and butter. I even put it on cooked dumpling. I probably boil a couple dumpling when I finish. See that? Nice and soft. So I'm going to leave that there a bit. Okay? Okay. Next thing now I'm going to work on is my bits for my fish. And I'm going to take you through the process. As I said, I'm not going to hide nothing from you guys. Let's watch this. And this is going to cook very fast. So I don't want to rush this. I want to execute this properly. So here I have carrot. I'm using 1 carrot in this. So I'm working on my curry now. I'm cutting it a little bit fine dice, because I want it to have a bit of body. So once I do that, this is what I do. Let me show you. Yeah, you can see it here. It's okay. So that's what I do with that, yeah? Onion. This is personal preference. I'm going to cut the onion this way or this way. I'm going to julienne them. All right, have onion. I have some beans here, fine green beans. I'm just going to cut them, these in about 4. I have a bit of fresh ginger. I'm going to put him here. I have a bit of tomato. I'm going to use half a tomato. If I need more, I will definitely use it. And I'm going to use 2 of this for the time being. Also, I have 3 cloves garlic. So this is going to stay here just in case if I need more. We're just going to rough chop these. We're not going to cut them too, fancy. Garlic, we're going to press him, give him a couple cups. Now, with this, I don't want the middle, the seeds in it. So I'm just going to take these out. So I'm just going to drain this liquid off that. Now, this spot what I have is get hot very quick. So what I'm going to do, leave it there. All I'm going to do now, I'm just going to cut this. And I'm going to leave it there. Now, the reason why I shift it off the fire, this pot get hot very quick. And if it's too hot, you know what's going to happen? It's going to start smoke. So my oil is in the pot. Once it comes in, ladies and gentlemen, please do thumbs up the live and feel free to like, share, subscribe, do leave positive comment. I appreciate it. Every little help, every encouragement help. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my onion. All right. And I want my carrot in this. I'm going to put a bit of ginger and a bit of garlic, and that to catch flavor, right? In here, I have a bit of curry, which I made up myself. I have some all-purpose also, which I made up. Normally, I make up my own season, most of them. So I'm just sweating this off, yeah? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to add the rest to that. Over here, I bring my fish down. So now, I'm sweating this off. Make sure you're seasoning them up properly. Over here, I have a bit, you might have seen it, I have a little bit of Thai curry paste on this. Yeah? I don't want too much in it. If I need more, I'll just add a little bit more in it. Next up in this, I have some coconut cream. At this point, I'm going to increase the gas. Are you hungry? Don't worry, I'll sort you all out. I like look after people here. All right, the next thing I want to add to this, I'm going to add, it's personal preference. You don't have to. I'm going to quickly, when I mean quickly, add a potato to this. You see how fast I cut this potato? All right. I'm going to cut this very fine. And the reason for that, no, raise this off the fire, because as I said, this pot is a little bit different So once you raise it off the fire, you know, it stops overheat. Hot water in that. Put it back on. All right, we'll finish work on our. This is some potato I'm putting in. Just one potato. I'm cutting it very, very, very fine. Reason to have had bulk, and also it cooked very fast. If you notice, I don't fill it up with too much water. If I need more water, I'm going to work on that. So now I'm going to start trying my curry sauce. Wow, lovely. I don't want to put any more salt yet, but the flavor of the coconut bursting through this and the color, absolutely fantastic. Next up, I have here, I have one sea bass here. I'm using sea bass, yeah? I'm going to cut this. Skin is on. I want the skin on it. Lovely sea bass, fresh sea bass. I'm going to dice this. So the dice I'm dicing this is in bite size, yeah? We have some prawn here. I'm going to cut the prawn in half. Just cut them in half. Okay. Next up, what I'm going to do, we're going to season this. I'm just going to season it straight on the cutting board. Add a little bit of seasoning. You know, when I used to work at some restaurant, I seen some chef just take the fish and the seafood and just put it straight in the sauce. I agree the sauce have some, who is that? I agree the sauce have some flavor in it. Tell you, the wind heavy here, guys. I don't know how it is where you are, but here is windy and cold. Greetings, greetings, greetings. All right. Next up now, we're going to add a little bit more water. If you notice something, you notice the sauce reducing, getting thick. So that's what also the potato helps to do. Watch this now. We're going to put our fish down. You can just chop them in if you want, but this is how I like to do things. All right, let me just wash mine off quickly. If you notice, I don't put the prawns in as yet. And, you know, one of the main reasons why I don't put the prawns in as yet, I don't want my prawns rubbery. So we're just going to turn our fish. I already love this color already. Lovely color, I'm telling you. So not too long and the fish will be ready. I'm just turning him. You want a little bit more spice in it, please go ahead and do so. All right. We're gonna put our prawns in. Soon this will reduce, but once it reduces, you just top him up with little water. When you're adding liquid to this, if it's not stuck, do not pour a whole heap of water over this. You do that, I don't know who you're cooking for. So I'm looking here in the fridge. I chopped some herbs the other day. I'm looking for either dill or not dill, parsley or coriander. Those two I'm looking for. Now, for me, this is personal preference. You don't have to cook like me, but when I cook, I like my food taste good. Just a dab of butter, that's fine. So now I'm finished with the butter. Just gonna put the butter over here. Although I feel for two dumpling, I feel for two, you know those Jamaican boiled dumpling, which we normally heat when we come from the woods, or a little bit of water in that. And then soon it'll be ready. So the vegetable cook. Sometimes when I buy a lot of herbs, fresh herbs, I cut them, put them in the fridge. Watch this. Bit of parsley over that. Now, if you want a little bit of heat in this, I'm gonna try it first. Wow. Just a little bit of chili in that. Man, wow. Absolutely fantastic. When I said nice, nice. So now, I don't want him dry out of them. When I said I don't want him too dry, don't want him too dry. So I'm look, it's a tip more water and turn him off. Don't make him too dry, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's finished, it's finished now. It's finished now, you know. Now, listen, however you want to serve it, no pressure. But today, I feel like, fine dine style. Make it nice. You have some day, you'll do different video. And then you have another day, you take your time because you're dealing with it on a professional level. So I have my nice bowl. So now I'm pretending that, I'm in a restaurant and it's my restaurant. So I'm serving this up. So now this particular menu, I'm gonna serve this. So I'm in London. I'm gonna charge you probably about, with tea and coffee and some natural juice. Yeah, I'll give you this for about £35 with a roti. And in London, you get this for £35 in London. Depends on where. Just take it quick like you're glad. All right, and we're gonna we need a side side plate now with our roti on it. So this is how I'm serving it up, you know. So I'm gonna move this out of the way because I want you to see exactly what time is it. So you need, I have the side plate, just clear here a little bit. I don't need this, don't need that. All right, so your side plate here now, this is what you're gonna put your roti on, you know. So I don't know how much roti you can eat. You can eat 2. Normally I'm gonna serve you 2 of this, yeah? I can either roll them up like this and put them down on this like this, or I can do it this way, you know. So I'm just gonna do it, roll them up like this. So you have 2 of that on the plate. You need to make the both of them the same, identical. See that? And now I'm gonna serve you. I'm not gonna give you a fork. I will give you a fork, but this is what you're gonna eat it with. So you have this, your roti, and your seafood curry dish, which is a cut above the rest. So now I feel for some dumpling, but I'm not gonna make any dumpling. If you want me to make dumpling today, you know, you can sell it. You know, it's up to you guys. But you know what I normally do? You eat it with boiled egg. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Once you eat that with boiled egg, that's a real deal. So this is how I'm gonna, you know, with this, you know, you take your roti, you know, so you take your roti. If you want to dip this in your roti. Wow. Unbelievable. So now I'm gonna give you yep, don't worry, I'll sort you out. You want some, I'll sort you out, don't worry. Linden Life look after people. Look at that. So this is a perfect fish stew, curry fish stew. It doesn't get better than this. So let me know if I deserve for you to subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, this is what I brought to the table. And please do consider to like, share, subscribe, thumbs up the live. Look at the roti. These are proper rotis. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Peace be unto you all. Enjoy the rest of your evening.